What's up, guys? How you guys been? So, in the lead up to Monkey Month, final stream before Monkey Month, by the way, guys. Woo. Um, Great time for that to drop. Um, so I've kind of I'll turn on my webcam for a second. I'll show you guys. Um, all my wall art is gone. I'm wearing I'm wearing a shirt I won from a slot tournament, a casino shirt. I look like garbage, and all my stuff's over here packed up. So my Switch and everything's packed up. So my original plans tonight, which is to play Mario Kart to unlock all the characters, that's not gonna happen. If I'm gonna have the camera on, I might as well turn the light on. That's not gonna happen. So instead, you know, I got work I need to get done, and that work is getting the bot that I'm going to use in an upcoming event, which will probably be spoiled a bit by the work that I'm doing on the bot. But anyways, get the bot ready for that. I'm going to turn my camera back off. So I'm only recording VS Code just because I think I can do everything I'm going to do tonight in VS Code. Hold on, I'm going to move my microphone a little bit. Okay, hopefully you guys can still hear me fine. So I'm actually not going to make a new document. I'm going to make a to-do list in my README. I never, oh, I'm still in VS Code. Okay, let's give that another try. This is me. My wall is empty as hell. There's nothing there, and there's all my stuff packed up. Got boxes. Boxes and a bee, which is also kind of a box. I mean, look at this guy. She's just a box. She's cubic. And beautiful. She's also beautiful. There. Now I turned it on. Now I showed you. Now you've seen. I almost just clicked the stop streaming button instead instead of the turn off webcam button. If I did that, I might have actually just stopped streaming. Given up, hung it up for the night. Anyways, I just drank a half gallon of sweet tea mixed with peach schnapps. So I'm having a good time, is what I'm saying. I'm having a fantastic time. Anyways, so I need this bot to be able to do a few things. First off, most importantly, I wanted to replace, I'm just gonna do bullets. I wanted to replace the existing TTS functionality. Um, I love, like, listen, Isaiah Creati, whatever. I love your bot. It's gotten me through a lot. Um, it breaks after like 2 dozen messages, and also that's the only feature I use for that whole thing, and I've got an entire browser layer on just for that. So I'm probably going to skip. I'm probably not going to use that moving forward. Um, let's see. I think I'm going to do that. I'm making some concessions to this bot. While it's going to render to a browser source for its visuals, I think I'm going to leave the TTS just as I'm gonna leave the TTS as just a like command line, like part of the actual script itself, instead of rendering it to a file and then passing it to the browser. Um, I don't really need to do that. In fact, I could probably simplify a few things if I didn't do that. You know what? Actually, let's see. I might redo the TTS functionality entirely real quick. Let's see if there's any Python libraries for rendering to a WAV file or something. Works offline, compatible with Python 3, beautiful. It says it has engine say. Can it engine save to file? Okay. Well, in that case, you guys are about to see. I'm gonna go ahead and install. Go ahead and install that package, and I think I will use this moving forward. I also want to have a temporary file directory so that I can. Where will I run my? But yeah, you can see because I'm working with a few different things. I've got the Python file mainly. Actually, this whole thing is a. I'm gonna. Nothing in there is directory specific, so I'm gonna. Does it make sense to separate out my code like this? I don't do a lot of mixed code projects, honestly. I usually do unified, like projects with the unified base. Last time I did a mixed code project was PHP, and that was awful. I spent actual like months divorcing a lot of the PHP from the JavaScript because I was converting it to a progressive web app, and that was fun. I enjoyed that, like legitimately, not sarcastically at all. But also, I don't want to ever do that again in my life. Okay, so we've got the TTS. What I'm going to do, I've got the speak module. Removing that. That speak module is based on my quick speak module. You can find it on my GitHub. It's just literally a script that like depending on your platform tries to see if there's any built-in TTS modules and goes and pulls from those. It's meant for like simple scripts. Originally, this bot was literally just for ad readouts, so that's what I used it for. Now I'm kind of expanding that into. Let's see. I need to actually look at the source code for this. This is super simple. Wow. Okay. Yeah, hold on. Oh, do I not have Pi environments on? Reload required. Oh, and I probably have to. I have this installed. Okay, reloading. There we go. And I want to go ahead and use the Pippin. There we go. Also, while I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in the Pippin shell. But yeah, the Minecraft view is pretty great. I got it at Target for like 15 bucks, I think. Maybe it was 19. It was some sub 20 number, and I actually enjoy it quite a bit. So I probably should have looked at what I used for there. That's main. So I'm just going to import from speak and then def speak. Temporarily, I'm just going to literally make this talk. Previously, this was async method, and it just waited on the message to finish, but I think this library actually supports that natively without using async. There's like a synchronous and an asynchronous version. I'm just going to make this fully synchronous. Just make it say the message that gets fed in. I am going to test this real quick. Let's see. Messages run. Main again. I went to main again. Okay. Makes the message bot. Runs it and then. Okay, it just speaks. It doesn't use any of the async because there wasn't actually async there and it just waited. Okay. Of course. Relative import with no known parent package. Where is that? Main line 10. Oh. No module named PyTTS X3. Installed this already, right? Oh, already in there. Okay.
Today's stream is supported by HelloFresh's Factor program.
Okay, hold on. It isn't.
Use my link
I
or
forgot
go
to
to
remove this.
go.factor75.com
It's not. This is not a sponsored
stream.
stream.
SE1913
This
for
stream is not
$120
sponsored.
off.
Oh, it's
Remember,
makes it
all
impossible
proceeds
to kill
this
it
and
while
next
it's
month
running.
support the Trevor Project.
There we go. Okay, let's. So you guys are about to see a bit of how this is configured. So in config main, that should be in. I've recently reconfigured this. Okay, in config main, you can see this. These guys right here. Let's remove all of the sponsored stuff because this stream is, fun fact, not sponsored. If that being said, that doesn't mean that the stream isn't like contributing to the Trevor Project. Any ads shown on this stream will contribute pennies to the Trevor Project. If you buy any merch or sub or anything, that goes to the Trevor Project. All the usual stuff. And the sponsorship is still going on, but this specific stream is not sponsored. So I'm not going to plug shit in it. So now we can, Huh, how did these get in here? Little robot guy? Let's just do a test. It can happen after 0 minutes, every minute, and it can repeat. There's some features there that aren't actually implemented yet, but what? Why did what? Why am I? Why is it? Why is it opening these two enemies? I don't have a start strip configured for the. Hold on, don't mind me. Just default to PowerShell. Is there something that runs? Is there somewhere here that like runs this automatically or something? Okay, well this should be fine. Didn't I just enter this? Okay, PyTTSX3 is on there. Peak line 2, line 1, no PyTTSX3. I'm in the shell. Yeah, I'm already in there. I try to run this no PyTTSX3. This is what pipenv is supposed to alleviate. Oh my god. Okay. No matching distribution found for, what is it actually called? Type PTTS. PyTTSX3. There we go. Okay. Now if I try... Oh, yeah, sure, of course. So why isn't this? I'm doing something wrong. Very clearly. Question is what? Got the right interpreter selected, right? It's not like... Yeah, I didn't think that'd be the issue, but... Typing that right. PyTTSX3. Oh, this is supposed to be the simple part of this. Okay. Stall from outside the shell. Running within a virtual environment. Okay, so it does think I'm already in a virtual environment. Why is that? Toggle terminal. Why does that run? Why is it opening a different virtual environment already? If the virtual environment for my Twitter. Wait, that's the that oh God, of course it is. I selected the wrong interpreter. I selected these two are. Don't mind me. Um why does it not default to the interpreter for this one? Okay, let's get out of here. Don't mind me. I'm just being an absolute idiot. Okay, so that's expected.
Test.
There we go. That's all we wanted to see. And if I reduce this, I might actually reduce this to seconds just to add further control. So messages, you get 1 second between these.
Test.
Did I actually already implement chance?
Test.
Oh no, it's just got the 50%
Test.
chance. Okay. Let's go ahead and So if there's valid messages, or not 50%, 2/3, and what is the key name? I might want to start pulling this entire JSON object into a model or something, just to make this easier. Oh yeah, I better be careful. I think I hid .env before I went in here, but still definitely don't want to accidentally open that midstream. So main JSON, it's called the example. Chance per minute, okay. I'm going to change that just to chance, actually, since I'm changing this to a per second thing. So I want that to be greater than random generates random. What's the actual? I think that just generates between 1 and 2. Let's do a test. So if I do 0.5, it should do it every other chance it gets. Why did I click that again?
Test. 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 Test.
I'm gonna actually, that's a really bad way of testing that. So instead what I'm gonna do is, I don't want that. I'm gonna go ahead and just from random and for random, okay. I'm just gonna make sure that this random works the way I think it does.
Test. Test.
Okay, that it works exactly how I think it does.
Test.
Except why? Because that's a
Test.
string. That's why it's going every time.
Test. 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 Test.
Oh, of course. And I'm a fool because this isn't the same. This isn't the same random. I don't know why I thought that would. Okay, hold on. I know how it works. I don't need to test this specifically. Part of me really wants to, but I'm not going to. Also, I'm just going to go ahead and. This is a dirty commit. Hold on. What do I need to save? I'm going to leave readme unsaved. Okay, so the TTS. I need to find out what reward that is. First, I want to set up the Discord library for Python. Or not Discord, Twitch library for Python. Okay. So, is there a pip module for there? Yes, there is. Actually, weirdly enough, I think I've only ever made node bots with Twitch. I would love to do this with Rust. But I'd already built part of it in Python, and I just kind of want to keep going in there. I'll save Rust for things where the optimization actually matters. Things that aren't literally just a TTS module in a web server. Though web servers in Rust run really fast. Love them so much. Okay, so I ideally want this to manage all. No, I don't. I don't want it to do that. But what I do want to do is have a speech queue that queues up speech and then plays it in order. I don't want this to. I'm just gonna do something super quick so that before I forget to do this. Ooh, this is multi-threaded and I'm adding to a queue. This is race conditions. Ugh, this is gonna make a race condition. Do I need a mutex? I should probably do a mutex. Okay. So I'm not here to. This isn't like really a lesson. But basics, mutex. In Python they're called locks. But you just it makes sure that you're not modifying the same thing in multiple places. I should only need this. I should only need this to. Gosh, I should only need this. I'm trying to think and do stuff at the same time, but I should only need this for assignment, since I think accessing a list is thread safe, and I want to make this a while. Okay. I probably want to pop 0. There's a method for that, isn't there, in Python? It is pop 0. Okay. You wouldn't think I use Python day to day. I use too many languages. I get confused. Which structures exist in which language, what the syntax is, what the style is. But I want this code to be fairly Pythonic, fairly easy to follow. Okay. This is technically all synchronous code, so I want this sleep. I'll sleep for 1/10 of a second for each. This does allow infinite queuing. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add a rolling queue if it's like longer than 25 entries, just so this doesn't balloon infinitely if I mess something up and then slow down my computer or whatever. Could not find log. Why? Why did I just type lock? Okay, that's a super basic queue, but that should work still. That's not what I meant to do. It doesn't get run anywhere. Okay. So in main.py, I want this to be async. Which means I also want the async sleep. It should be good enough. Also, can I finally change this interpreter? Apparently not. There's probably a... Okay, is there no... Oh, here's where. Okay. Oh, of course that does that. Okay. And you can see the module. Beautiful. I really get bothered by that kind of thing. Okay, so that should be... That should work now, right? Once I add the loop to here. You know what? No module phone M5. Because VS Code Python thinks it can leave out source. Full-time Keratin messagebot.run was never awaited. I'm gathering. Gather should count as an await, right? Wait, hold on. No. I don't know what I did control slash, didn't I? And there's that one.
Test. Test.
Okay, this works. This works.
Test.
That's cool. I'm glad this works. We've got a thread safe TTSQ so that stuff won't talk all over each other. That's one of the other things that one of the reasons I want to change away from the CreativeBot. It does stuff in or it does stuff in order, but it breaks after a few. But other solutions I found talk all over each other. I want the best of both worlds, baby. I want something that works and something that. Wait, no. If we do run like this, we'll want to generate files. Oh my god. Okay. So passing it to the web interface. I could alternately, instead of passing it to the web interface and playing it there, I could have like a window that actually draws the avatars I want. Let's see. That might be worth it because this is going to be open anyways. No, I'd want to add a browser source because I'm using OBS. Okay. I can leave this here. This can stay here, and then I can add a probably want to actually turn that into a path, right? I'll leave that as a string for now. Also, we want to do type ending. This is Python 10, baby. Python 3.10. We want type ends. There's nothing. Async defines this as a I think it's a thread void. So that should be fine because we don't return anything here. That's beautiful. That works. I'm probably going to add a bunch of optional stuff later. But for now, that should do it. I want... Can we do... These are small enough to do system temporaries, right? I'm just going to use temp file, and if it causes an issue later, I'll... Yeah, just going with F. F works. And if it ain't broke, why fix it, you know? And then what's the syntax for sex? Should be saved to file takes a string. On Linux, it requires eSpeak and FFmpeg. So this just runs on the exact same engines that I already have in my other one. But it can save it to a file. I don't know how to do that with either. You know what? I could probably do that pretty easy, but this already exists, so why not? Um, I want to keep engine access to one place, so no, I want to leave it in one queue, so I only have one mutex. But I will do. Okay. And but I run into another issue here, which is I can return a file that doesn't exist yet. What I can do is I can make the web server wait until the file does exist, which shouldn't take long ideally. I can also give it like a 2-second timeout or something. That should be fine. Wow, there's a lot of sound effects in this song. Um, hmm. What is there a preferred way to generate just a temporary file name? There we go. Make s temp. This is wave temp. What is this? MP3. That's good. That's more cross-platform, anyways. Then we want to append render. And then return the name again, if I can type it. Okay. And I'm gonna make this print the render. Just do a test. Oh yeah, also these are not meant for outside consumption. So let's just go ahead and give this a little bit of decorate this a little bit. Just make him a bit more Python, like a bit. That's a Pythonic way to show that those are not meant for outside consumption, I believe. These is unexpected indent. All those spaces. Oh, I'm in the interactive terminal. Oh, this should work even if I do it before Speak exists, before the rendering engine's running. Missing one required. Oh, duh. I need the message and the file name. Of course.
Test.
Okay, and let's make sure that has a dot in it. Just want to copy this. Thank you. Okay, that didn't work. That was
Test.
unplayable.
Test. Test. Test.
Where is... There's the file. It's an empty text file. Why is that not saving to the file? Wow, this is taking a lot longer than... Guess that's what I get for trying to learn a new library on stream. But save to file. This is literally the full documentation is saving voice to a file, initialize the engine.save to file, run and wait. This does that, but for some reason the file is unpopulated. The file exists. It creates the file. Wait, hold on. It's not like a this path is formatted wrong kind of thing, is it? I'm just gonna go to my app data local and find the temp and make sure that I'm not like it's not that. File is not playable.
Test. Test.
Let's cancel. Let's not create the message bot. See about that. 0 kilobytes. I wonder why it's creating an empty file. Let's see if there's a bug report open for something like this. Is there an issues somewhere? Is there a source? Open issues. Utterance doesn't work. So I ought to just please fix this. So let's save to file. Save to file, produce an empty file. It works in interactive mode, but not in scripting mode. Ugh, people run into this issue all the time. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back in a second. I'm gonna probably switch libraries after this. I'll see y'all in a few. Okay, I'm back. So since this doesn't actually populate that, how can I handle this? I guess look for another TTS library. Let's see. How does this work? Text spectrogram end to end vocoders. You can just run it with default models. Let's pop the docs for this. I just want to synthesize speech with TTS. This is just command line usage. Okay, is there... I'll pull this song. Speaker Manager API, maybe? Yes, config, model, config, and then you can... This looks like more of a text-to-speech training framework than... this looks a bit big for if I'm just using it to synthesize, is what I'm saying. So I'm probably not going to use this. Really? Pi TTS-X3 does look like the best option. GTTS is... Google TTS probably works fine, but I don't know that I want to actually use that for a lot of this. Especially since I want to distribute this, and I don't want people to have to set up more than... I'm already making people set up like a Twitch bot and a Twitter bot and a Discord bot for this. I don't want them to also have to set up their Google Cloud API account. God. What the hell? Sorry, I've just been forwarded a lot of things. Fine. My Telegram just blew up, is all I'm saying. So stapling that temporarily. Um is there any way... You know what? I'm just gonna go with my there's an unimplemented. I'm You know what? This is just... I'm disabling render temporarily. What I'll do is I'll just send flags. I'll send flags to the web interface so that it knows when to start and stop certain animations, but I won't send it the associated files. So it talks from the console and just syncs with the local web view. That should work. That should work fine. Ideally. Ugh, okay, hold on. No, I don't want to do that. I actually do just want to import speak. Since I'm doing it this way, I could probably use my thing. And since I'm doing it this way, I don't want it to have a queue. Or God, this really throws a spanner in the works. Okay, just completely ditching the render function. That's out of here. I'm going back to basics. Scorched earth, all that. No queue or anything. You just you ask for something to be said. Where is it? Run and wait, that's what it is. Also, side note, don't like that this uses camel case instead of snake case. This is Python. Dang it. I really hate to scrap. I really hate to scrap good code. And that was good if it worked. Unfortunately, the function is kind of a bit beyond me, so... It's fine. This is program global. This is fine. Uh, I'm making a state module. I'm actually making a state module right now. Okay. Oh, wait, I need to actually install Pydantic. What is the Pydantic class? ABC is abstract base. What are Pydantic data classes called? Okay, so this should be pretty simple. I'm not going to add a bunch of descriptions or anything. This is a list of layers to draw in order from bottom to top for a specific given animation state. You also want them to have a name will be defined in the key. I wanted them to have a key, but the key can be defined in the actual like JSON key. I think I also want a transform, which and this is also no, I'm gonna put a limit on that. So I want there to be a few ways to transform stuff. This isn't going to be as verbose as CSS because Lord knows why it would need to be. I think I just want rotation in degrees, probably. Relative size. Relative size along the x-axis. Relative size along the y-axis. An x offset and a y offset. This doesn't all need to go in the state class. I want all this to be contained within one class. Frame duration in seconds with the ability to change it per frame. I think those are all the settings I really need for this. And this should work for no, that's always gonna be a dict. I wanted this to be big, actually. Good. We'll comprehend that. And then this is the list. Okay, and then I'm gonna go and wait, this is a okay. This is a dict because we're doing because the animations are named, of course. Okay. I can for readability. Let's for readability. I'm constructing this like this. I could probably unzip in place and then it's items, right? It used to be items, so just items now, I think. I think it's items. Okay, let's see what files I have right now. Projects, little robot guy, layers. All of them are. All of them start with base. Mouth. Oh yeah, hold on. Next, we need eyes. I don't think we're doing anything for the layer for the default layer, right? And they should be lit by default. So no, because I want multiple layers on each one. I don't want to flicker through these. So this needs to change. This is why I construct this. I try to construct like an example at the same time as I'm actually working on things. So I want this to only be I only want that to be listed frames. This is a frame, no frame duration here. I might add stuff later here. No, I want global transforms because I want to be able to shift the whole thing around a little bit if I want, without having to shift around each individual layer. So transform here is pointless. So I can have transforms that apply to all frames in a specific animation state. I can have transforms that apply to all objects in one frame. I want a list of either strings or layers. Okay. Okay. So this is all, so by default, this is the only frame in the default animation state. That's the only frame in there. How long between blinks? I'm gonna add a blank. 11 seconds. And then I can make. Do you think the eye should remain lit whenever he blinks? Let's leave him lit. It just blinks for a very short period. So the animation durations are all going to be passed to the JavaScript portion of the app. That's going to generate all the styles, code everything on its side, and then the Python side is just going to say, here we're in this animation state. Animations will be assigned numbers at the beginning, so passing the animation state should be like literally 1 8-bit package, hopefully. I doubt I'm going to do more than that many. Oh shit, that's not the change button. Okay, well I skipped on an accident. Oh, Sunflower. It was the Spider-Man song, guys. Defaults there. Got a bit of a blink. It might be beneficial to just add a blink. That's okay. Okay, talking normal. So I've got a bunch of different variants on this. The idea is basically you can tell it kind of generally what it should be doing. You give it an animation state along with a line or certain conditions that when fulfilled change its animation state, and then it goes off. Normal talking, we probably just want okay, that should stay for neutral lit. Okay, that should be fine. It's about 2/3 of a second. That's fine. Should be enough precision there. And then literally the only difference is I want mouth closed. What did I actually name this? The gape and closed? It is a gape and closed. Okay. I also want are you still embarrassed? Good enough. Okay. I think I wanted to carry on recycle 2 cycles. I want the eyes to shifty right lit. Shifty right lit, shifty left lit. Okay, that should do it. I need to move this out of yeah, this is going in its own file. I am also, yes, I'm using my actual config for the defaults for this one. I used my original config for the defaults for this, but I also like to drop comments in there just so that they're obvious. Right, so should open his mouth twice. Then and I just want this to be left. That should be good. Ideally, I can just have some components that are on cycles and have multiple different animation states which can be toggled independently. Essentially, what I want is eventually complex puppeting, but this is fine for now. I want to do something basic to start with and then implement that because this is the first time I've kind of made a puppeting system like this, basically. So I just want to get something basic in place. I've got an example config. I've got a parser. What's wrong here? There you go. Animations are there. Animation there. So TTS is optional. I don't think animation is going to be optional. Um, Actually, I don't think anything else is going to be. I think I don't think there'll be any side effects. I think you should everything should be loaded into config at the start. So I'm gonna change this to config. I'm just gonna make this load all the config information. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, no, that doesn't need any more consistent bot there. That'll be the default animations for now. Okay. Do still need a Synceo here. Basically going to repeat this whole block so that I can have So yeah, this is going into models. I'm doing one model module though. No static class decorator. That's fine. No, I'll just have these out in the open. Okay. Okay. So what configs do I have now? GTS. Okay, so what? Yep. Sometimes it's too easy to just get into transcribe and stuff. What is it? Is there a type? There's default factory, title, description, exclude, include. What is the hold on. I'm getting Pydantic field docs. I'll just use the, I don't need to, I'll just use the default. This isn't Rust. Actually, let's. I think actually the better way to do this, the Pydantic Way is optional float. Minute speech. I think those are all the fields I use right now, right? Oh yeah, right now. These are all the fields I use. There we go. And that should do it for that. And that should be animations. Oh wait, hold on. I actually do want to import the. I don't want to have to type the full verbose name each time. Okay. That should be simple enough. Main, you can import. Source.py.config. And that should be. The only definitions here are config exception, main, and animations. That's fine. Okay, and config is not a dict, but a what is this? Pally Hall. Okay. Maybe I should just add a calculated type that just. I don't want to make this more complicated than it needs to be. Okay. I do not need to. I don't need to check equality against none. It can only ever be none or zero that would evaluate to false. So I can just do a not. And if this makes no sense to be zero, if this is zero, then that's always valid. So big shouldn't be modified afterwards. So Glass Beach, Yoshi's Island. We're getting into the ones that I don't recognize. That should be fine. Everything's serializable in Python. Everything has a valid hash value. Well, I guess actually no, that's the whole point of me using data classes is it implements stuff like that for me, but it's a data class, so it implements stuff like that for me, so this works. Thanks, Pedantic. Even if your startup costs are a bit high, you do validation. I appreciate that. Chance should be 1 if it's not defined. Which means that this should always... And chance packs down to a float. And that should... Yep, definitely. I don't know why this isn't a method here. So that's a couple of the message and then the actual specific string of the message. That should work, right? Okay. Actually not what we want. There you go. Dot visit dot get and then this message. That should be fine. Should have a chance, right? Oh, because I made a chance per minute, I probably left it that way. Config, yeah. It should work, right? No module, no pi, where is that? 5. What is that? No validator found for TTS. Did I forget to data class it? I did. Non-default argument speech follows default argument. Because they're in definition order. Please set up animations.json. Examples provided in. I should make this because this is validated now. I should make this only return this area if it's a file not found. Got descriptive errors Animation state in it missing one required positional argument. Transform. I didn't mean to make that positional. Thank you, Python. I don't think optional is strictly necessary if you define it in none default, but I like to have it there. Transform optional again. Unexpected layers. Frames, just frames. For TTS. And nothing's optional. We're manage this function. This is probably how I should do this anyways. Unhashable type. Unhashable? That's the whole point of it. That's part of the whole reason I was using pedantic. Frozen. That's what I'm missing. I want basically all these to be immutable, and I want basically all of them to be hashable. All of these config data classes should be immutable. Literally every single one. So why not make them all hashable? Unhashable type list. Messages line 53. Message not in self-last. Self-last is addictive TTS. Message should be a TTS config. Also, I don't know. This is only used here, so that's a bit redundant. Oh. Just leave that like that. Big e Okay, I'm just making something to simplify my life. Small itty bitty change. Speech is always a list. It never isn't. $47. Still message not in self last. It just bugs me a little bit. Um, Shouldn't be a list. TTS config. All the attributes have to be hashable. Do I have to actually just implement hash for this? Wait, did I just implement base data class? Oh, I implemented the Pydantic data classes. Okay. I don't really need to do that anyways, actually. Because I can do... It's a better solution anyways. Valid messages dot append index message. And it's trivial to just pass the index in there. Okay. What about that? Line 15. Oops. Fix that up. Oh, what's up, Porta? How you been? Sorry, I've been a bit caught up in this. I'm working on just some bot stuff, basic stuff.
Test.
There we go. That works. Okay. Well, I've gotten everything back up to where it was before. But with config validation. That's fine. Okay. So I want... How do I do state valid? I'm probably just gonna end up doing a state module again, aren't I? This program's only gonna be running one instance of this per program, and I don't intend to divorce it into multiple different ones. So a state module is probably fine. I hate to do it. It feels bad. Okay. I'm doing it. I'm only going to be modifying animation state. Already got state. What am I talking about? Speech. Oh, I guess I removed the state. Speech is kind of stateless. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna do the animation stuff. This can be updated by multiple things. Even though it's a simple assignment, I still want to. Animation state will only be updated from this within this module. That's the decision I'm making now. And it'll only be updated from one thread. So no mutex necessary. That being said, do we want a queue? No, we don't want a queue because I want to be able to up. Okay, so no queue, so there does need to be a mutex. That's fine. What is the actual? Oh wait, this is a list of animation states. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Why is that showing as that module when I'm importing it from .config from like this directory? Will that read it now better now? It's just imported as config everywhere. That shouldn't be a list actually. Right? Yeah, that's not a list. Does it know that that is? Why is that config.animation to animate state? It should be importing this config as animations. I'm just gonna make sure that this works. Are they flat iterable? They are. Awesome. Beautiful. That works. I just want my errors to be descriptive. Wait, what am I? This is basic assignment. I don't need a mutex for this. If I were modifying a variable, maybe, but Python doesn't do coprocessing in a way that would let me modify this mid-use. I do not need a mutex for this. And yes, this is a state module. I hate it. The hash value of the image, map the hash value to a variable number of random syllables, put it all together, and that's it. My phone. Yeah, that's gosh. Yeah, no, I should probably work on the actual web component at some point. I'm not going to work on the actual Svelte app quite yet. I think the server can be built into animation. But the question is, no, I should just use Python's default server. I don't need it to be secure. As much as I'd love to say, oh yeah, I can build this app secure, I'm only going to be using this myself realistically. This is only going to be... That's how it always starts, isn't it? I say I'm going to use this myself, but I publish a source anyway, and then somebody else picks it up. And then I have to rework it to make it more secure. You shouldn't be accessing this server from anywhere except for local. The security I can add is I can make it reject non-local access. Somebody's going to get upset about that and file a bug report at some point. I just know it. You know what? Yeah, hold on. Okay. I'm in animation right now. What's a sensible default for this? You can always have import 22 so we can visit the website via localhost. The intent is to expose this via localhost since this will be essentially an OBS browser source. I don't think I'm gonna throw it on SSH though. Also, I'm pretty sure I'd have to run this as admin to even open that. Well, I need to be able to look at Twitch chat and docs at the same time. Give me a second. Turn Twitch chat open on another monitor. My monitors are kind of half packed up because of moving. Let's see, documentation. Oh, you were saying open open for 22 for SSH or RDP or something, so you can visit it via localhost. Yeah, no, I don't think I need anybody visiting this site. It's probably not going to be working tonight even. It's literally just so it's literally just like we're showing essentially like talking animations and stuff for this bot whenever this bot talks. Though I'm probably also going to throw some bonus features on there. I might turn basically everything that's not like I don't have to manage through Stream Elements on there. I need a request handler for getting the animation state. Or should I just open that as a socket server and use a WebSocket to connect and monitor? If I broadcast on the socket, I can handle multiple sources, but I don't need to handle multiple sources. Why would I need to handle multiple sources? If this is only going to be accessed through localhost, I can literally make the access. I'm gonna be lazy. The Svelte app is just going to regularly ping. The Svelte app's just going to regularly ping a web page that tells it what animation and state it's in. That's going to be the whole thing. This is going to serve the app itself, and then that you're working on a face to name app, literally. Oh, no. I've got little robot guy, um, who was helping me with advertisements previously. Currently just says test, but oh wait, hold on. I did this mid thing. Animation pi. Dict is not defined. Dict is defined. What? 28. Oh, this is 110. I'm in the Pippin. What is this? This I'm in 110, so Dict should work anyways,
Test.
right? Yeah. So this guy just says stuff like that.
Test.
I think I need to add a better way to kill this. But anyways, I'm just. It is typed Python, so Python has type hints now. I think as of what 3.8, 3.7 had it. It might have been earlier than that. I became aware of it as of the 3.8 update. Um, I try to type my Python because I find it makes it easier for me to remember what I was doing later. The data classes are strictly typed, so they're pedantic, so it does validation on them. They're strictly typed. Functions type hints are completely optional. It's like PHP type hints where they're really kind of useless, but they're nice for documentation. And that's exactly what I'm using them for, is documentation. Um, What was I doing? I genuinely forgot what I was doing. Okay, yes. Number one, we want two handlers. Um, Status handler and a, which is the important status handler, which is the important one. And the home handler, which will just literally just pass the Svelte app. Wait, that's enough. That doesn't return a type. I will be back in just a second. I'm gonna go grab a drink. I don't think dynamic typing I don't think duck typing specifically is necessarily Pythonic. I think that typing is actually kind of nice to have, regardless of the language. Um, but to each their own. I mean, if you want to use Python completely typelessly, that's fine. Honestly, I I implemented this partially in Rust before realizing that I already had the bulk of what I actually wanted to do in Python and coming back to Python. So I probably would have done this entirely strictly typed in Rust. If I hadn't already made part of it in Python. I'll probably still remake this in Rust at some point, but it's I'm just getting something that works at this point. What was I doing? Gone and forgotten. Oh, what is simple HT? That's do and then the type, right? I'm actually gonna consolidate. I'm gonna consolidate these because I can just do post for one and get for. That's very fair. Honestly, most of the reason it's good is for data validation like this. Whenever you're importing a JSON file, regardless of whether you're actually using types in language strictly or not, it's really nice to know that you have input up with specific typing. And Pydantic, if you use typed Python, automatically handles all that for you. This one line defines essentially a key, a type, and a default if the key doesn't exist, which is really handy. And I think I can use the. How do I. I think there's a way. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is the so copy file, copy file object. Okay, I'm just gonna use this. There's a do post too, isn't there? I'm biased. I like typed languages in general. I think I can probably just. I can just copy file, right? I'm literally just gonna copy the self.w file. What is that? Socket writer, self.connection. F is send head. Path is self.path. So I can probably just make this serve the same file everywhere on Gits, right? I haven't actually used Python HTTP server before now, which is weird because I feel like that's like a lot of people use that as like an example, like getting into Python. I just haven't found the use for it. I guess I've used like Flask or Django in the past whenever I've done something like webby, but I don't need something that complex for this. This will be path will be main. So I honestly might just socket this. I feel like an HTTP server is a bit much. I can implement like yeah, I'll just do an HTTP server. It's fine if there's a bit of overhead. Python's not meant to be efficient. If I wanted this to be efficient, I would have kept doing it in Rust. Rust is so nice though. You post literally. Can I just write? Back. Zero send post. Okay. Since response header. I'm just gonna test this. I'm gonna see if just returning animation state, or let's just return test for now. Honestly, I don't think Python's really good for web stuff in general. Um, I'll Node is serviceable at least. Um, Node works better, I think, than Python, but I don't like Python in general for web. Okay, let's open up the old Postman and get the actual server running. I don't need a variable for this. I'm whizzing it. Do you HTTP server or TCP server this? Remember TCP serving it in the past? I'm gonna try that.
Test.
I used to use PHP and Laravel for my job, and honestly, I hate it. Not as bad as it. Not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Um, Honestly, I like if I'm gonna use PHP, I prefer Cake over Laravel. Where did my Postman go? Postman is failing to launch. What is this? Open Postman. What's my password? Why do you have to log into Postman? I forgot my password. Postman, hell yeah. Honestly, if I weren't on Windows right now, Windows has curl, actually, doesn't it? I'm curling. Windows does not have curl. Actually, I think I've got my WS. I just tried it in PowerShell and it didn't go off. Does it? Hold on. Oh wait, hold on. Windows is really gonna. I've completely forgotten how to use curl. Apparently, there cannot be found that matches for. This is a PowerShell output. Why was it not working in PowerShell? Wait, hold on. Nope. Okay. I'm going to use Postman. Postman opening in the web. I thought this was a desktop app now. I'm looking this up. A positional argument not be found. Doing HTTP anyways. Parameter cannot be found. Found that takes that. Okay, hold on. I'm doing something wrong. This isn't curl. This is an alias. This is an alias for invoke web request. That's why this isn't working. Hey, at least that's something. It does return nothing. So, not exactly what we want, but curl is at least working. Yeah, I pulled up an example for do post here. Does that work? If I do a get, does that work? Okay, it does do file not found, which is good. Because there's no file there. That's what I expect. Why is post not working? Soft service. That is a specific thing to this example. A bytes-like object is required, not string. I see. No, actually, And there is technically a third thing that I want. I want to be able to fetch from the... Yeah, technically getting closer. Hey, there we go. Test. We have... Okay, so I want there to be 2 postables. I'm actually going to do this. Believe it or not, this is technically my day job. Okay, beautiful. And if I do... Okay, cool. So what I want is... I do not care. Yeah. Hey, believe it or not, this is my day job. My brain just turns off the moment I stop working. Um, but it's fine. So I'm not gonna bother for any kind of soft so whatever. You can give me a literal path and I'll do that. Streaming at the same time does increase difficulty because I keep checking chat. It not that much though. I even whenever I'm not streaming, I have this problem where my brain turn off. If I check status, I'll get nothing. If I check animations, I get null. Need it. All right. See you around, Zenas. It was nice having you. I'm actually gonna hop off too soon too. It's about midnight here. Oh, thanks for the follow, man. Have a good one. I said no. Config.animations should be assigned here. Failed at it.
Test.
Thanks for the reminder that you're alive, little robot guy. Animation still returns null. Huh. These dumps, right? Said I actually do want.
Test.
It is somewhat concerning that it's not actually speaking again after the first one. Can repeat. Should go on indefinitely. No, I probably made it before broke. I probably broke before, right? No, that should go not. Hold on, I'm just gonna make sure. Okay, cool. Thought so. Don't like for there to be ducking like that. It's not breaking it. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up for today. It's been a blast. I need to get to sleep for work tomorrow. Thank you everybody who stopped by. I know it's been a bit of a weird one. I'm gonna pass you guys on to Rat. Um, I'm gonna be back in only a couple of days because Monkey Month is starting soon. We're gonna start that off with a few big events. We're gonna have some people drop by, and then we're gonna do a bit of a follow-thon. Um, but until then, I will see you guys around. Bye bye.